practical.
Hello, David Craiglow here. And this is a miracle. But what's even more important is this. In a moment, we'll discuss the advancement of technology, both in our modern world and in the world of entertainment. In the course of our daily lives, we collect a lot of stuff. This look familiar? Shoebox full of receipts, half of them from Walmart. Tax returns. How long are we supposed to keep these things again? Important documents. Or is it junk mail? More important documents, but we're not sure. Music. Tons and tons and tons of music. Art from the children. Ooh, can't get rid of that ever. And as the days go by, we accumulate more. Song lyrics, important daily journal items, photography. Oh, remember that trip to Lake Powell? Yes, wonderful. Recipes. Oh, tons of recipes. Got to keep the wife happy. Wife keeps the husband happy by cooking him good food. An occasional, I gotta have it magazine article. Here's another miracle. This is a battery for a cordless power tool. What does this have to do with technology? Where did it come from? Step over here and I'll show you. This one battery powers this saw, and this drill. All products of our space age. The astronauts needed hand tools they could use outside the craft that utilized internal power. The batteries had to last long enough to finish the job in unimaginably cold conditions. They also had to be easy to operate even through the cumbersome space gloves. As technology started to break away from the grounding limitations of vacuum tubes and moving parts, transistors and silicone became the status quo. With them, the old axiom of bigger is better only applied to storage space, pixels per inch, and processor speed. In business, like in life, one can accumulate more than one can manage. The properly organized storage facilities with respect to relative significance can make management of books, contracts, artwork, music backups, and finally the bottom line virtually effortless. In some cases, some things can never be replaced. Computers have certainly come a long way. What used to take up a room now fits in our shirt pocket. Now, as we discussed before, this tiny little SD card, which would fit in this telephone, smartphone,
ooh, BlackBerry,
can also be placed into this little container, which allows it to slide easily into any SD card slot on any computer. Or if the computer does not have the slot, you can slide it into this device, which can be inserted into any USB port on any computer. More storage capacity includes the tiny but very efficient hard drive. This is a 320 gigabyte Western Digital hard drive, also known as the Passport Essential.
Passport Essential.
This is a Seagate hard drive. My very first hard drive was a Seagate. However, my very first hard drive was 1/1000th of this size. This is a 1 terabyte hard drive, which is currently down here, partitioned for the Mac and Time Machine, and down here, partitioned for the Windows backup system. Lighting is one of the true beneficiaries of computer advancement. While sound is an attempt to duplicate, augment, and amplify the original voice or instrument, lighting is the instrument that introduces the sound. It's as much a part of the show as the music. In the last few minutes, we've discussed hard drives, memory storage, the little SD chip, and the little case, and the little converter that takes the whole thing and turns it into basically a USB flash drive, very similar to this little 4 gigabyte unit right here. We've also discussed the external hard drive capacity. All of this is very important when you're backing up documents, copyrighted material, music, anything that you may or may not need later. You want to have it backed up on more than one hard drive. If that hard drive should fail, then you always have the external application that you can turn to. We've also discussed batteries. Now, I know this is not a computer battery, but it was the same technology that eventually gave way to the ability to build the long life batteries that we now have, the 7 and 8 hour batteries that we now have in our MacBook Pros. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast and found it informative. We're out of time for today, but I sure look forward to seeing you next time. David Craiglow, out.